Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Captain Foley and it's time for another video. And today we're going to be taking a look at something I've looked at before many moons ago on the Trekyards channel, but I figured it was time for a revisit and to kind of share it with you guys as well. This is a series of videos that I'll probably end up doing because I've got a lot of these and they're really worth exploring. And that is some of the Franklin Mint Star Trek collectibles. Franklin Mint was a big company back in the 80s, 90s. Still is. I just don't think they make these kind of collectibles anymore. But they had the Star Trek license, and they did some really great stuff. There's a lot for me to look at. Like I've got here the 25th anniversary Franklin Mint phaser, which is made of pewter, as most of their things were. As you guys know, I've got the chess set, the three-dimensional chess set, and a whole bunch of other stuff from them. But today we're going to be looking at this bad boy. This is the Refit Enterprise from Franklin Mint in pewter. And yeah, we're going to take a look and see what we can see. So come and join me, will you? Alright guys, here she is. Running some diagnostics on it right now. As you can see, things are checking out pretty well by the looks of it, but we are going to investigate a little more closely and see what we can see about this piece of Star Trek merchandise. So first things first, I'm not a huge fan of the way it displays on the stand. I'll show you that right now. So here it is. It has a downward pose. I think personally it would look much better if it slanted up, but due to the way the notch is, it does that. Now I know what you're all thinking and screaming at me right now. Just put it on the stand the other way, which if we do that, we get the same problem, and it's actually much more pronounced as a downward thing. So I mean, that is what it is, right? So but let's take a quick pass of it here. Got the little reaction control thrusters there, which are gold accented. And there's 4 of those. This one looks kind of mangled. This one actually, and this one over here, are kind of, they bent up a bit, so they're kind of sharp. They can catch. But anyway, now with all the Franklin Mint stuff, there is gold accenting and there is crystals. This one has, they're called crystal cabochons, I think. This one has a bridge module and the impulse crystal, but completely wrong colors for this thing. But yeah, that is what it is. We'll get to that in a second. Oops. Actually, I should put it back on the stand the way it's supposed to be. There we go. Look at some of the other detailing here. We'll take a closer look in just a second, but so it is, as with all the Franklin Mint stuff, they're really nice, like they really are. But let me just put this back on the stand and we can take a closer look at this thing. Alright, so let's pull it off the stand here. And as you can see, you've got the registry number there. It's the 1701A Enterprise. Now, the bridge dome, like I said, is a crystal. It is quite prominent and tall. It's way too tall than it should be. Other than that, the pewter details are pretty good, but this thing on top is just sticks up way too far. I don't know why they chose red either, especially for the impulse crystal. A blue crystal would have made more sense. And like, I don't know if they were trying to maintain a look, because the TOS one, which they came out with first, has the red crystal cabochons for the nacelle, the Bizarre collectors. The Klingon D7 though does have green ones. I don't know why they couldn't have done blue on this one, but, or even just made, if you want to do red, just put the red on the impulse engines, which there is. I mean, it's not a big space, so I can understand maybe why they didn't do that, but there's the impulse deck there, so just give me 1 second. Anyway, now the saucer seems a little thin as well. You do have the cargo door though on the side. I don't know if it's going to focus. Focus. There you go. And you can see the lighting. You can see those gold accents. Accuracy on these is not always the best, honestly. You do have some detailing back here. It is missing the name Enterprise there, which it should have. And proportionally, you're going to find that a lot of the Franklin Mint stuff is proportionally a little off. It feels a little weird and wonky, but so you got the NCC 1701A, which seems a little small on the bottom there, and then it does say Enterprise right there in very oversized large letters. It's not that big on the back there. And then 1997. So when this one came out, so more gold accenting on the deflector, and the deflector is just like a coin almost, which is like glued on. And this one's not glued on 100% accurate. It's a little, it's pushed up a little bit, but not too bad, honestly. Again, that's a good place for gold accenting in my opinion. But again, blue crystal there, 2 red ones there, and then make these, we'll put blue there and put gold up here, would have made more sense to me, but whatever. There you got the neck detailing with the markings on the neck, completely inaccurate as far as how many windows and stuff go. Plus you've got the airlock there on the torpedo bay. Speaking of torpedo bay, there is, oops, I keep hitting the camera, I apologize. I can zoom in maybe. There's that detail, which is not super great or defined, but that's alright. Secondary hull, again, not quite the right shape. It's lacking a little bit of bulk. It's not too bad though. A lot of people have a real issue with the TOS one, which is like their basic one, like the first one they started with, and the most common to find, I think. Just with the dimensions of the neck. The neck seems a little long and scrawny, but so there are some issues in those regards. Now moving up to the nacelle, you've got beautiful detail on there on those warp grills. Struts with some detail. Not too much. And then the inner stripes, inner chiller grill. The top of the secondary hull has the stripe on the back, and then a few hull lines, hull plates. We got a shuttle bay right there, which this part's very thin, way too thin, I think. But anyway, so that is the ship itself. It's pretty hefty, like it is solid pewter, which becomes a problem for a lot of people, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But let's move on to the stand. Now the stand is interesting because it's like a hardwood with a metal. This is metal, but this part's kind of like a wood. It's got felt on the bottom. I've got something on mine over the years, but felt on the bottom, and then the name plaque is The Franklin Mint presents the USS Enterprise, 1701A. And then some trademark, 1997 Paramount, all rights reserved, that kind of stuff. So, but the weird thing about this is it's the Generations, it's the Generations logo for their promotional stuff. You saw this weird oval with the delta kind of offset, and I think this came out about the same time as Generations, if I recall correctly. So yeah, most of the other bases, like the TOS Enterprise, has the delta. The D7 has a Klingon shaped base, and the Romulan TOS Romulan Bird of Prey has like a rounded shield appearance. But so I don't know why they went with this one for this. They did quite a number of pewter ships over the years, though. My brother has all of them, I believe. There's a, like I said, TOS Enterprise, the D7, the Romulan Bird of Prey. There's also an Enterprise D, a Ferengi Marauder, a Deridex, Galileo, TOS Galileo Shuttlecraft. There's a Runabout. There might be more. I can't think of them right offhand. But my brother has the Deep Space Nine. There are quite a few. My brother has the entire collection. Now, a lot of people complain about these because... Oh, I should also point out, too. Just noticed this. There's red little crystals in there as well. Which, those are generally blue on this... Well, generally they are blue on the ship itself, but there are little red crystals there as well. But... Anyway, as I was saying, a lot of people complain about these because... Very prominent to see nacelle sag on these. Like, you see pictures online all the time of, and in person when you go to swap meets, when you go to conventions, when you go anywhere and see these, nacelle sag is a constant thing. Now, and I'm not saying this hasn't had it, because it has, but it's easily bendable. Pewter is a very pliable metal, and it's easy to bend them back into shape and just make sure they're lined up, you know, and just give it a little tweak, and just don't over bend it, you know, so that they do stay kind of straight and true. Now this saucer does look like it's actually, like I could tweak these a bit, just to, and all it takes is a little bit of tweaking just to kind of get them to line up. A lot of people just let them sit on shelves over the years, and just the sag just happens. And I mean, if that's what you want to do, cool. But me personally, I like to kind of take more care of them. My TOS one has no engine sag. That being said, I've had to repair the nacelles on it a few times, and it's easy enough to repair them. One of them actually did break off at one point when I was fixing it, and it's just since been like super glued back on, and it looks fine. I will do another video detailing that one at some point for sure, but they're easy to take care of, and if you do take care of them, they last, like all things in life. There you see the nacelles are properish height. This one could be bent a tad, but you know, they're straight and true, more or less. I was just tweaking it a second ago there, so anyway, you can mess with them if you're very gentle. And I see all the ones with bent nacelles out at conventions and stuff, and I just kind of shake my head. I mean, it might be worth... You can actually get a good deal on them because of that. Now, these were originally about $600 a piece, I believe, back in the day. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I kind of recall. Of course, Franklin Mint, you made monthly installments kind of thing to pay for it. But so this is one of the four that I have. I have the original TOS ones, the Enterprise, Romulan Bird of Prey, and the Klingon D7, and of course this one. But like I said, my brother went on to collect all of them, because he's my older brother, and he had a job and that paid better, and actually afforded them all. He still has them all. Some of them are just huge chunks of pewter. The Galileo shuttlecraft is just a giant brick of pewter. So is the Marauder. That just made me wonder if there's a Miranda. I think there might be a Reliant as well. But so you can still get them. It might seem discouraging when then the cells are all bent and stuff and wonky, but you can fix them. I don't know why people don't try to fix them. It's actually quite frustrating going online to look for pictures of these and finding ones with just wonky, messed up nacelles. Now, yeah, my biggest pet peeve is that stance on there, like pointing down. That's the worst possible position for a starship. And it's actually supposed to go on the stand this way, which when we do that, it still points down. Like I said, and I could probably fix this, no problem. I just need to adjust this, like fix the stand, glue something on the very tip here to at the front to just, because I think that looks much better, much more heroic, more bold, but it just does that, and it just looks kind of, that's why it's on a very low shelf in my other room. There is the base, and because it's pewter, it is soft, it does get, but you can see it's easy enough to put something in there to actually have it sit properly. I just haven't done so. But anyway, so I'll show you where it actually lives so you can see what I mean about how you display it, because that's just not a good look. I'm sorry, pointing down like that on like an eye level shelf or something just does not work. So let's go see where it actually lives. So here it is in its normal habitat in my collection for now anyway, and it is right there. As you can see, with that kind of stance on the actual stand, being there at a lower level looks fine leaning forward. It kind of just blends in with the other ones. Now you're probably wondering where my other pewter ones are. They are upstairs in the ready room. They're behind me in most of my live videos. But we will take a look at those at some other point. So anyway, this is just part of the collection. If there's anything here that you guys see that you'd really like me to focus on for a video, by all means, freeze frame, look, see what there is, and what might be of interest to you. Got some custom 3D printed stuff in there, but I'm looking for ideas, suggestions for other videos to do, and I would really like your guys' help with that, so please comment down below with that stuff. If there's anything that kind of grabs you, I would be more than happy to talk about any of this stuff. And this is by no means my entire collection, this is just a large chunk of it. So anyway, let's wrap this video up now, shall we? Figured I've talked about this enough, I should probably show you guys. Here's my TOS one in the display case. And I can do another video on it at some point. Like I said, I've already covered these in separate videos many years ago, but I figured I'd do it in the new kind of style. That's that one. And there's that longer, skinnier neck that a lot of people complain about, which I actually kind of prefer. So, and then just moving up here, there is the D7 Klingon cruiser. It's got, well, one green crystal. One has been lost over the years. And then we got the TOS Romulan bird of prey. And as you can see, the nacelles on all of these are pretty straight and true. But yeah, that's those two. And then you can see those shaped stands that I was talking about. So there you go. And that's the 3D chess set I was talking about from the Franklin Mint as well. So lots of stuff here to see and to look at and do videos on, should you guys be interested. And I want you to let me know if you see anything. Now's your chance to speak up in the comment section. Let me know what you guys want me to see, do a video on, and what you guys want to learn about. So anyway, we will end it there. So, well, there you have it, guys. The Franklin Mint Refit Enterprise. Is it perfect? No. Is it cool? Yes. And as I've talked about, there are some inconsistencies with it, some problems. But overall, it's a nice looking piece. The pewter stuff is very classy looking. And yeah, hopefully you guys, learned a little bit about the pewter stuff. And buyer beware, I guess, for these. Mine have been very good. I've taken very good care of them. So they do last if you know what you're doing and take care of them. So anyway, so please comment down below if you have this, if you need this one, if you want this one. Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts on it, guys, and anything that I talked about in this video. Let me know your thoughts on it, because these are really cool. And like I said, I've got a lot of them, so I'm sure I'll be covering more at different points. So let me know if you want to see more of this kind of stuff. If these really appeal to you, if they don't, I want to hear all of your thoughts and comments down below. So on that note, guys, please like this video, give us a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to both channels. This one, of course, the Captain Foley personal channel, as well as the main Trekyards channel, where there's much more content Star Trek related. I'm not all about Star Trek all the time. I have different interests. That's why I have this channel. But by all means, subscribe to the Trekyards channel. And don't forget to check out another video by me as well. So until next time, I'm Captain Foley, signing off. See you guys later.